This is Jeff with Shout Out Minnesota, and we are here with Charlie Coyle. Charlie, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
We are out here at Whitaker Buick GMC. You get to meet the fans today. First of all, how was that?
Yeah, it's always fun. It's you see some new faces, see some old faces, people you met in previous encounters, and it's really cool to see that the fans and the following that we have with the Wild, and everyone's so nice here. It's always a fun time. I always look forward to coming to these things.
And you're always so laid back. Every time that I've seen you, you've been laid back with the fans and everything, and they love that about you. Let's talk a little bit about Wild hockey. You guys are in a tough stretch right now, but playoffs are approaching. You're still in the 8th spot. How do you approach that?
Just game by game, that's all. I think there's about 24 games left right now, and it's easy to kind of get lost and look at the big picture, and I think it's much better to just look at the small picture, game by game. You can only focus, you only play one game at a time, and every point out, from here on out, it matters a lot. Can't do anything about the past. This points that we wish we had, wish we got, but we didn't. But we're still in a position. We have full control of what happens, and so we play tomorrow, and all we're focused on that, and it's going to be a big game. We got a divisional game, so we just focus on that one right now, make sure we get the job done, and we keep building our game as best we can. So come playoff time, we're kind of going in running start.
Yeah, with Philadelphia, it was it's not an opponent you're very familiar with. St. Louis, obviously, being a divisional opponent, you're more familiar with, so you know maybe how to approach them, how to attack the net. How important is it to have familiar opponents going down the stretch?
Yeah, I think those division games, you play those teams a number of times throughout the year, and you know what they have with there, how they play, their tendencies, and you play them enough, so you just know what to expect, and so you have a game plan, and you kind of already know how to counter that and what you got to do. I think for the most part, it doesn't even matter who we play. It's when we do the things that we do to make ourselves successful, and we do those little details, and we bring that compete factor and have a sense of urgency out there. It's just we're skating, everyone's together, and we're positive out there. And I think we give ourselves such an advantage to win. And I think more times than not, when we're playing that way, we have a good team, and we're going to come out on the winning end of things more times than not. So,
all right, locker room. You're one of the veterans on the team now. What do you say to the younger players come up, being maybe it's new for their position, being in where they're at right now?
Yeah, when I've been young too, and it's funny to be a veteran. Now as time goes so fast. And but you learn a lot from the guys before you, and guys on your team still who we've kind of grown with throughout the years, and everyone helps out. And our young guys they're a big part of that. Everyone can bring their own kind or type of leadership to some guys are more vocal, some guys lead by example, work hard and do that. And the younger guys and they're learning, but the older guys paved the way, and they set the standard, and that's what you learn from. That's what kind of everyone follows suit, and so this is my 6th or 7th year in this league, and I've had a lot of experience and ups and downs, and so just little things. Details in practice or certain things or plays, and just talking, being positive with your teammates, especially younger guys, or just like an overview of it's usually these times where it's playoffs coming, and you stay even keel and don't get too high, don't worry about the outside noise, things like that. But our young guys are pretty smart and have a good sense on it already.
Now, obviously, hockey, you're going to get injuries. It happens throughout the year to every team. Different players step up at different times. Who has stepped up this year that you have thought exceeded expectations?
There's been a number of guys at different times who have really stepped up when we needed to, and you lose a couple of guys for season-ending injuries and, not ideal situations, obviously. But you have other guys coming up either through trades or from Iowa, or guys who have been kind of in and out of the lineup who now have more of a role every day, and everyone's kind of. It's hard to replace a certain guy in the lineup, but if everyone kind of does it together, I think it helps. And we've had a lot of guys who have shown that and taken on responsibility and have done great at it. And that's what a team is. That's what depth is, I think, and that's what we have. And I think we've done a good job of that. I think we can still do better at that. I think we can all still kind of pull the rope a little more, and everyone kind of takes that responsibility and more leadership when especially your captain goes down. So I think it's something we work on, and it's not something you can just kind of do. It's you learn through it, and I think we're doing it right now.
Of course, with this time of year comes trade rumors. The fans worry about who's getting traded, who's coming in, that sort of thing. How do you approach that?
I mean, we're not making the moves. We're that's the GM's obviously his expertise and what he does, and we only thing we control is to play and play well. There's always talk. There's always outside noise. We've heard that for a number of years, and that's usually all it is most of the time. So, but things will happen. Things happen. But all you can do is really control what you do on the ice and how you play, and your compete and your work ethic, and that's all we're trying to do. We like our team. We know what we have in there, and we know what we're capable of, and we've shown flashes of it. And it's just, like I said, we're learning through this and working through it to bring it more consistently, especially heading into playoffs here. That's going to be huge for us.
All right. Well, I thank you so much for your time. One last shout out to your fans in Minnesota.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Everything you do, you guys are a great support. Coming out to events like this, it makes a big difference for us as players, and I know we have that support with you guys, especially here in Minnesota. It's been awesome. So thank you guys.